What's up, y'all? Candy Girl here with my 2 cents on growing up not fitting in. And this is something very near and dear to my heart because I really struggled growing up trying to fit in, and I have made a lot of mistakes trying desperately for people to accept me and for me to have friends. And I've realized that those things really did me in, and I thank God that He had enough mercy and grace on me to not give me exactly what I deserved. And so I'm just coming on here today to share a word with you, and hopefully I'll be able to help someone along the way so that my living won't be in vain. So I was born in Detroit, Michigan. A lot of people know about Detroit. Detroit is one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. It does not have as many resources in the public education system, and you know, arguably even in the charter school system, there's not as many private schools and things like that. And so, you know, my mom, being a doctor, you know, she made that good guap, you know what I'm saying? She was born and raised in Milledgeville, Georgia during Jim Crow, and she came up and was very successful, and kudos to her for earning her way to a really, really nice neighborhood. We were one of the first blacks to move into that neighborhood, and so, you know, we were basically surrounded by whites. And lo and behold, especially because we moved out there when I was like 4 years old, I want to say, they had a big influence on my speech, you know, how I presented myself, the things that I like to do and stuff like that. So a lot of people who were black, you know, growing up, they'd be like, you talk like a white girl, you know what I'm saying? Or you sound like a white girl, whatever. And at first that would really offend me, and it still does, but it's in a different, it is for a different reason, because I don't think that you being black means that you have to speak like you're ignorant. You have less than a 8th grade education. So if somebody looks at me and they expect me to be ignorant and low class, and then they say, well, you don't sound like the way that you look, well, that says a lot about you, and that says a lot about, you know, what we're putting out there as far as black women and how they should be perceived. But anyways, I ain't gonna get on that. What I will get on is that growing up in a majority white community, what ended up happening was we still were very, very, very much, you know, we were still very much raised in Detroit at the same time, because every weekend we would be in Detroit. Our churches that we went to were in Detroit. Our whole entire family was in Detroit. A lot of our extracurriculars were in Detroit. So we were still very much exposed to people who lived in Detroit, and they were black. So when I would be around other black kids, they would say, well, you sound white. So what ended up happening was I was too white for the black people, and I was too black for the white people. You know, I didn't feel like I really fit in anywhere. And so I never really got to socialize with people meaningfully because I didn't feel like I fit in for them to even socialize with me. And so what ended up happening as an adult is that I don't think that I really develop the social skills that other people may have, because of the fact that I just didn't have as many people to connect with that really accepted me for who I was. And as a result of that, I started to do things to try to fit in, but they were really self-destructive. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was having sex, I was trying to skip school, you know what I'm saying? I was doing so many things that, you know, I am really ashamed of now, but the truth be told, that helped me as a person, because I realized that as long as I try to change who I am to please other people, I am going to self-destruct. It is an inevitable process of self-destruction. And it took me a minute, but when I realized that this is landing me anywhere good anytime soon, I had to break free of that, and I had to do my own thing, and I did that inside and out. I think that one of the most defining moments in my life was when I got caught doing something I shouldn't have been doing, and I got in trouble. And so that was number one. And then number two, I was in an abusive relationship. I was with a guy who was kind of big time, you know, to our peers. He was pretty popular. He was very good looking. You know what I'm saying? He was very desirable. But what I didn't anticipate is him slapping me up across my face or punching me in the stomach to the point where I couldn't eat for a couple of days, because whatever he did when he punched me in my stomach, my guts was just completely out of whack, and I could not eat, or I would get violently ill. Never told my parents. You know, I was sexually assaulted and violated by several men. And so these things that I was trying to do to fit in, it was not serving me at all. It was destroying me. And I say all of that because I want people to know that you don't have to do those things to fit in and to come out on top. Because let me tell you something. Once I got to college, I said, you know what? I am going to define beauty on my own terms. I'm not going to keep pressing my hair and trying to perm it or relax it. I'm not going to keep trying to, you know, put this weave in my hair. Now, I still do. You see through my videos, there are plenty of different hairstyles that I've had, even throughout the life of my YouTube channel, let alone my college years and stuff. But one thing that I will say is it was never in an effort to please someone else. It was always because I just wanted to have some fun and play around with different looks. It was basically celebrating me and my own beauty, and just kind of like experimenting on all the different looks that I could have, and just having fun. It was for me. It wasn't for anyone else. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I went natural. And I just said, you know what? I'm tired of pressing, relaxing my hair, putting braids in there, pulling my hair out, and all this other stuff. And I still to this day have permanent damage from the stuff that I was trying to do to my hair. And so, you know, for a lot of women, you know, think about it in this way. You know, when you're trying to do all of these things to your hair, it's also you're doing stuff to your spirit, and you're ended up doing some permanent damage because of the fact that that stuff is not natural. It's not meant for you. Okay, if God meant you to have straight hair, he would have you have some straight hair, but it ain't. Okay, so embrace it. Do what you got to do to just have fun with it. And sometimes the beautiful thing about having curly hair is that you can do whatever you want to with it. I can braid it up and put some weave in there, or I can take it out and have it free and roaming. But don't try to maintain that for the rest of your life so that people don't really get to see who you really are inside and out. Don't do it. It's not worth it, because it's permanent damage, and then you're a slave to that, because in other words, you can't even have your natural hair out because it's ruined. You know what I'm saying? And so now you have to keep up with that. But anyways, I'm kind of digressing, but I'm still preaching, girl. Anyway, what ended up happening in the end is that I got tired of faking because it was too hard. In other words, I could not keep a black ghetto girl accent to save my life. It was like, either I'm just gonna talk and let it come out the way that it comes out. You know, sometimes depending on my mood and how I'm feeling and what I'm talking about, I may come off a certain way. I may have a certain vernacular. I may have a certain vocabulary, a certain accent, but that's just how it comes out. So I am being myself. It's just many different facets of me that I'm coming out and I'm showing the world. But I'm never going to try to appear to be something that I'm not in order to appease other people and what their expectations are of me. I'm going to be myself. And guess what ends up happening? People have ended up giving me more opportunities because of who I authentically am, because they're so impressed by it. You cannot continue to be who everybody else is because they already have that. They want something unique. They want something different. And just because I'm articulate, that doesn't mean I should try to hide that, because if anything, it has given me more opportunities, because people who are still under this impression that black women need to be low class and ghetto, when they see me and I'm articulate, I'm well versed, I know a lot of things, I'm very knowledgeable and well versed in a lot of different topics and a lot of different disciplines, they're impressed by that. So it gives me more opportunities because I'm being who I am. You know, instead of trying to be low class and trying to fit in, and that somebody, and that's the exact person that people will quickly discard, I'm now being myself, which is actually something that is exactly what people are looking for. And so I would say the same thing for you. Be who you are, because that is exactly what the world has been waiting for. There's no one like you. So why would you try to be a replica of something else? If you were just like the rest of the world or someone else, there would be no need for you. But you are one in a million. And so be that. It's nothing wrong with that. If anything, that's exactly what we've been waiting for, and that's what we want. Don't try to appease other people just because you want to fit in, because I promise you, this is the next part of my testimony. The people that I was following behind, the people that I was being a thought for, to try to be accepted by them, those are the people that I have ran laps around in my education, in my professional life. You know, I have a lot to show for the fact that I eventually wised up, while these people continue to go down the self-destructive path that they were going on, that I thought that I had to become in order to be accepted. Well, now those people don't have as many accomplishments as I do in life, because they're stuck in this same self-destructive path. So don't follow them, because those are the people that are going to be looking up to you, asking you how you did it. Matter of fact, they're going to be asking you for advice, because now you're their doctor, you're their lawyer, you're their engineer. You know what I'm saying? You're their teacher. You're going to be the one that's going to help them up. So be yourself. Realize that trying to be someone that you're not is self-destructive, and it's inevitable. And ultimately, the people that you're following behind are the very people that are going to be looking up to you, asking you how you did it. And all you can say is, it's just who I am. So I'm hoping that has helped someone. If you have a comment, a question, you want some advice, leave it down below. And of course, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much, you all. Love and blessings.